Hey guys, how you going? Hey guys, you worried about the effects of 5G radiation? Well, let me introduce you to the affiliate of this video. They're called EMF Harmonized, and they filter out the harmful RF waves that actually damage our DNA. Kids are also more susceptible to the RF waves than adults are, and what they do is EMFs clump together red blood cells and cause lots of problems. This technology prevents that. And as you can see, they have products for your phone, your tablet and your computer, as well as your body. You can actually buy these for your body. So if you'd like to help a fellow truther and help me out as well, please check out the affiliate link down below. They also actually have a video showing you the red blood cells, how they clump together with 5G radiation, and how this technology protects you from that. Okay guys, if you're interested, check out the affiliate link below. Thanks guys. Okay guys, before I start, I would like to thank Margaret, and thank you to all my PayPals and Patreons and everyone for just listening. I do appreciate all of you. There's been a lot going on. That's quite interesting. But normally I tend to wait things out a bit. So instead of reacting to things emotionally and straight away, so if I don't cover some news, there's a reason for it, because I'm waiting to see what happens. Because normally the first report you get is pretty inaccurate, and then things develop over days. So, okay, this one from N1 Nasty One at One Nasty. NASA sends 2 elderly people into space for their 50th wedding anniversary. This is a ridiculous... Oh, it's better that way. This is a ridiculousness we are getting to. And from a few days ago, Ron Code Monkey, there was a no-fly zone over Nashville. Just thought I'd slip that in there because it came up. I wasn't going to read it, but there you go. I thought I'd just chuck everything in there. Peace Train Australia at Faye_McGarry. She's the fake news MSN. She of the fake news MSN will be literally losing all her possessions very soon at Real Donald Trump. This is in response to Paramithia at Paramithia_. Lisa Wilkinson forced to part ways with possessions on holidays. An article about the loss of a hat. Okay, so if you know anything, you know that these are also comms. Communications. There'll be something else in here, not about a hat. She was enjoying a well-earned break from Channel 10. And she was relaxing on Sydney Harbour. And her hat was whisked away by the wind. So? Huh, what's that? Okay, well. Oh no. What's this rubbish? Okay. Fedora hat with black trim. Goodbye. Oh. This is what she put on Instagram. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You've been the one. Who's she saying goodbye to? Okay, I'm sure there'll be some comms in here, so I'm going to have a deeper look into this. I didn't really look into it. I just put it up there as reading the tweet. But I'm going to have a look in her husband, Peter Fitzsimmons. Australia Media Power Couple. I bet they are. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to go further into this. I'll leave that up for myself. But yes, normally these are comms to each other, people who understand what they're talking about. I'm still at a bit of a loss as to what they are talking about, but I know that's what it is. Okay, this one from Christlight at Christlight5. Sources say that HRC is possibly the most evil human being to ever to live. 1, she's a practicing satanic witch. 2, she used Bill Clinton as blackmail slave to win the White House by proxy so she could sell access to our enemies and consolidate her crime empire. 3, she sold our nuclear bomb-making materials to hostile foreign enemies. 4, she let our worst adversaries access her private server containing our most sensitive military state secrets. Number 5, she got our field agents killed by tipping off the enemies they were assigned to surveil. 6, she leveraged her position in the State Department to run guns to ISIS. That's supposed to be 7. She ran one of the largest child slavery and trafficking rings in the world through the Clinton Foundation. What she has managed to keep secret is going to shock the conscience of humanity for the rest of time. Okay, so you take that as you will. I know a lot of it is true. Sydney Powell, that's Sydney Powell 1, and the mandates, those little cloths. No one should breathe his own exhaust. They are causing record eye infections, sinus infections, bronchial infections, and other problems. This totalitarian control tactic must end. And it was in response to DJT saying good news on the relief bill, information to follow. Okay, and this one from Dr. Digital Soldier at Sean 1973. They got caught on Christmas morning just like they did on 9/12. Okay, that was, you know what that's talking about. They got caught on Christmas morning. Is that what that was about? A little, yeah, explosives things. Yeah, so, did they get caught doing it? So maybe it wasn't the white hats, but the black hats, and that the white hats caught them and in the act. Okay, this one from Glenn 50192061. You cannot kiss, you cannot hug, you cannot sing, you cannot dance, and you cannot socialise. Pretty much stop being a human and you will please the rulers. Because that's what it's come down to. They're trying, they're pushing as hard as they can. Whether we fall for it or not is another matter. Okay, this one was from the Schumann Resonance. That was 18 hours ago. From at Schumann Bot. And it was showing some pretty active, as you can see, the higher, it's going up higher and coming back down and just going berserk. Look, sometimes people act weird when this stuff goes on. Isn't there a full moon due too? Because I remember hearing from a friend of mine that the police and ambulance and all them get a lot more calls when there's a full moon. They say the crazies come out. That's just what they say. So, but people do tend to go a bit funny during these times. So if people are going funny, there's probably a bit of an underlying reason as well for it. Okay, over at Vic at Gen Max 70, the sheep have adjusted to the new normal. They're grateful to have been saved. Never mind having to carry permits, being restricted in private gatherings, and travel and being forced into being tracked. Or are they frogs actually boiling away in the pot? And I don't know if you've ever heard of the boiling frog. It's if you put a frog in cold water and then slowly start to turn the heat up, the frog won't notice. And then it boils to death. And it's a sort of a metaphor saying for what is going on right now with all of this. This one from Martin Geddes at Martin Geddes. We are being exposed to the reality of our world and its corruption and horrors. They were always there, but the mechanisms of psychopathic control were only partially activated. Now we experience weaponized everything. Acceptance of steps to end it requires a visible problem. Yep, so this one from Noel Benjamin at Noel Benjamin. This was 18 hours ago. Tomorrow's going to be huge. Stay tuned. At the end of this, I'm going to go into just Twitter home and see what updated news there is in there. The largest problems confronting the United States are fear, ignorance, and propaganda. And my cat's knocking things over. It's not Bella this time. It's Mr. Smiggles. Okay, from Martin Geddes at Martin Geddes. We didn't know that when those drops appeared that they might, for example, be forward references in time with 1 to 3 year deltas. I expect many of our first evaluations will have been a little off, but that's infinitely preferable to having failed to look at the data and saying nothing. And I agree with that. People will make mistakes. We are human beings. People will make mistakes. And you can't just jump on everybody the minute they make a mistake. You have to have some patience, and we've got to work things out for ourselves, guys. This one from 8, Little Froggy, at 8 Notables. If you still haven't learned to wait 48 hours, I'm starting to wonder if you ever want to wake up at this point. Okay, when things break, this is what I was trying to say earlier. When things break, it's best to wait 48 hours because more information comes out in that 48 hours than what you'll get at first reporting. Okay? Even this one. DJT, the Senate will start the process for a vote that increases checks to $2,000, repeals Section 230, and starts an investigator into what happened. So, and this one here, budget update. DJT just invoked the Impound Control Act of 1974 while signing that bill, allowing him to redline areas that must be addressed. This sends it back to Congress, forcing them 1, repeal 230, 2, cut out the wasteful spending, 3, add 2K. This is a virtually unknown law and has taken Congress by surprise. It also signals his intent to invoke other laws in the coming weeks. Stay tuned. Okay. So that's pretty interesting. Oh, there's another one. As President, I'm demanding many rescissions under the Impound Control Act of 74. The Act provides that whenever the President determines that all part of any budget authority will not be required to carry out the full objectives or scope of programs for which it is provided, or that such budget authority should be rescinded for fiscal policy or other reasons, including termination of authorised projects or activities for which budget authority has been provided, the President shall transmit to both houses of Congress a special message describing the amount to be reserved, the relevant amounts, the reasons for the rescission, and the economic effects of the rescission. I will sign the omnibus and package with a strong message that makes clear to Congress that wasteful items need to be removed. I will send back to Congress a redlined version, item by item, accompanied by a formal rescission request to Congress insisting that those funds be removed from the bill. I am signing this bill to restore unemployment benefits, stop evictions, provide rental assistance, add money for PPP, return our airline workers back to work, add substantially more money for vaccine distribution, and much more. Okay, so there you go. Always, look, when stuff breaks, wait 48 hours. I'm telling you, it's worth doing. And try not to act emotionally, because, look, mainstream news does it all the time, okay? They'll put something out to grab your attention, even if it's wrong. Wait 48 hours and then look at it. You'll have a lot more information in that 48 hours. And if you jump too quick, you're more likely going to be wrong a lot. I'm learning that the hard way. RE5IGAM at RE5IGAM. Okay, this one from LG. Whoa, switcheroo of A. Jackson too. Okay. It's got something to do with Andrew Jackson. Okay. Famous quote from Andrew Jackson, the only president to pay off the national debt. Quote, "You are a den of vipers. I intend to rout you out, and by the eternal God I will rout you out. If the people only understood the rank injustice of our money and banking system, there would be a revolution by morning." President Andrew Jackson. So, and that was by RE5IGAM. Then you've got Mike at FUCT up Mike. I don't want to say it because when I say it, it's going to come out like swearing. Because that's what it is, but in a different spelling. Okay. Does anyone else think this is hysterical, or is it just me? Ready? Look how happy they are. Oh dear. Not so happy anymore. But DJT is. Aha. So there's something going on. If you don't think there's something going on, and I think people are sharing something around the Vatican being shut down. Not sure. I have seen something, but cannot confirm anything yet because I haven't looked at it. But okay, this is from JB Hanley at Gen Rescue 2020, the year I viscerally understood how the German Reich happened. You can see it. And the people going along with everything. Steel Kraken and Vandersteel. Having the FBI involved in the investigation of Nashville is like a murderer investigating his own murder. They have long decommissioned themselves and are part of the Federal Bureau of Inactivity. They don't solve crime they manage crime for their benefit, which they do. Dismantle the entire FBI immediately. There's no trust or respect left for them. Chris Wray needs to resign, fired, or arrested for treason. There you go. And interesting dog comms from Awakened Outlaw at Awakened Outlaw. Comms. It's a 17-second video of a dog. And it's put to the music, I think it's Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. Sorry, what's the name? You know who I'm talking about. But this is worth going to listen to as well. So it's 17 seconds long. Okay, the doggy. Dan Scavino put this out. So it might be something... The Landslide is... The lyrics that are included in this are about your freedom. Who am I to hold you back? And it keeps going along that. I'm not going to sing it because I can't sing. I like to sing, but I can't sing. But anyway. Modern Day Joseph at Alan Molina. So the FBI can solve a bombing in under a day, but give them Hunter's laptop, Hillary emails, Epstein's black book, and proof of pay for play in Ukraine. Years later, they don't even know they have it. Do you understand? Nothing is as it seems. And certainly nothing is as it's being reported. This one from Dano at Snarkish Dano. This post is why I do as I do. Not all are as they seem. We are here for everyone together, not for personal glory or gain, we've been told. And this is from John F. Kennedy Jr. This is not a game. Be careful who you are following. Some are profiting off this movement. Some are building a big following off this movement, only to then to retreat and go mainstream. Patriots make sacrifices. Some the ultimate sacrifice. Patriots are selfless. Do they ask for monthly payments to remain patriots? Think logically. To some, it is only about the money. Those who would seek personal gain at the expense of others in this movement has an agenda. You decide. This is not a game. The only profit we should be striving for is true freedom. God bless you all. Yes, well, yep, that's true. That's why I was going to delete Patreon, because I don't feel that anything should be hidden. Everything should be out in the open, and it wouldn't matter whether I was being paid or not to do this. I'd be doing it anyway. And even if I was talking to myself, I would still do it. And I'm not monetized. I have put in an appeal, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I don't care. I'll still keep going. And I'm uploading on more platforms now to just try and get the word out, because some people have been removed from YouTube. So I want everyone to get the information. And if anybody does donate, and people know that my Patreon will have nothing in it, so it's up to you whether you want to join or not. There is no, you don't have to. Okay? Really, no one has to do anything they do not want to do. Okay? Number 9, at number N933728895. Tell me that's not AOC dressed up as a nurse. Okay, let's have a look. It looks like her. It might not be, it just looks like her, but... Okay, well, it's interesting theory. You never know. Oh, they're all getting parts, aren't they? Little parts to play. Frank K at QIWI_Frank. Gee, it's cold weather in Auckland considering we are nearly midsummer. Then I saw these pics on another post. The reason I put these in here is because I saw this in Australia last week. We've had a cooler than normal summer too here. But I'm enjoying it because, yeah, I'm just really enjoying the cooler summer. And today again we've got 16 degrees maximum, and it's very misty outside. So, and we had severe thunderstorms last night and this morning, so at any time we could probably get more thunderstorms too. 3 days and 3 nights, at 3 days and 3 nights, anytime we let foreign nation fund a mosque or synagogue or temple here, we should get to build an equal number of places of worship in their nation with guaranteed safety and religious freedom. Fair is fair. Okay, we have more questions here from Linwood at Linwood. Has anyone ever confirmed whether Jeffrey Epstein facilitated adoptions for high-ranking government officials? Asking for a friend. At Fight Back for Honest Judges. I wonder, did he? Oh, also Ghislane Maxwell, yes, she was denied bail today. Malcolm Roberts, this lady nails it again. Alexandria Marshall at Ellie Melly. Politicians should not be allowed to own shares in or have family connections to renewable industries while presiding over legislation that nudges up their profits. There are too many politicians getting rich off the public purse while Ozpol is pushed into an energy abyss. Ozpol, sorry. Yep. Ron at Code Monkey Z. Some news coming out of Ukraine that looks interesting, but I can't speak the language and can't verify the subtitles. Maybe big if true. Yes, because there's reports coming out that Ukraine has released they're telling their side of things. Yeah, about JB. From Jennifer Franco at Franco News. The House will vote today on a standalone bill to increase direct payments to Americans from $600 to $2,000 as proposed by President Trump. Okay, and this one. Judge denies bail to Ghislane Maxwell. Let's have a look. It is a mainstream news article, so just be aware. A federal judge for the second time denied bail to Ghislane Maxwell, the wealthy British socialite accused of grooming underage girls to be sexually abused by money manager Jeffrey Epstein. Judge Alison Nathan found that Maxwell posed a serious flight risk given her wealth, possession of citizenship in multiple countries, and the severity of the charges she faces. Epstein, a former friend of President DJT and Bill Clinton, of course they're going to put that in there, died from suicide while being held without bail in jail on child trafficking charges. A federal judge on Monday for the second time denied bail to Ghislane Maxwell. Okay, we've read that bit too. In her most recent bail application, Maxwell had asked to be released on a $22.5 million personal recognised bond with millions of dollars more pledged as security for her appearances in court by 7 relatives and friends. Maxwell also proposed having armed guards ensure that she remained confined to New York City residence and that she be monitored with an electronic device. Prosecutors strongly opposed the request, and Nathan agreed with them in her order issued Monday in Manhattan Federal Court. The court finds that the defendant's proposed bail conditions would not reasonably assure her appearance at future proceedings, Nathan wrote in the ruling. The court concludes that none of the new information that the defendants presented in support of her application has a material bearing on the court's determination that she poses a flight risk. Nathan also wrote a longer opinion detailing her reasons for denying Maxwell bail. But the judge is withholding that document from the public court record for now to give Maxwell's lawyers and prosecutors time to propose any redactions they believe are warranted to protect potentially confidential information. Maxwell, who was arrested in New Hampshire on July 2nd, has pleaded not guilty in the case. In addition to charges related to allegedly recruiting and grooming several underage girls for her ex-boyfriend Epstein in the 1990s, Maxwell also is charged with perjury for allegedly lying during a deposition for a lawsuit filed by an Epstein accuser. She is due to stand trial next year. Epstein, 66, did not kill himself from what authorities have ruled as a suicide by hanging. No, he didn't. At the time of his death, Epstein was being held without bail on child sex trafficking charges. Former friend of DJT and Bill Clinton, Epstein previously pled guilty to state charges in Florida that include paying underage girls for services. He served 13 months in jail in that case, but was let out for much of that time on work release. Okay. Yeah, they always put Trump with him. Of course, they hung around in the same circles. They were both billionaires. It'll all come out. Just keep watching. It'll all come out. Okay, and if you want to know, go through my previous video. I don't know which one. Just... yeah, there's more to that than meets the eye. Like Epstein was kicked out of Mar-a-Lago about 10, 20 years ago because of hitting on an underage girl. And Trump owns Mar-a-Lago. Trump kicked him out. So make of it what you will, and everyone's got their own opinions. But we'll see, because it'll come out. From Old Soldier, oh my God, the mess. What the... Victoria Police, taking a well-earned trip over the holiday season? Let us know you'll be away by completing an absence from residence form. And check this guy out. I think that says it all. I think they're trying to show the public, guys. We're waiting for the public to catch on what all this means. You know what this means. I know what this means. We're waiting for the public to catch on. Do they know what this means? Chinese takeover of Australia, anyone? Hello? Oh my goodness. And I think it happened because Victoria Police now have the upside down star as their patch, on their patch. And that happened a few years ago now. I remember when it happened, there was a bit of a kick-up. People kicked up a stink about it. And I think that's when this happened, the takeover. of them anyway. 3 days, 3 nights, at 3 days, 3 nights. Just a guess, personally, I believe the 10 days of darkness could be about certain big tech sites being shut down. They might even say because of Section 230 removal, they have no choice but to go dark to avoid liability. Now imagine how this would be helpful if timed correctly. It could be. As I said, everyone's just, we can put things out there, and some of them will be true and others may not, you know. I think a lot of it will be true, but anyway. Oh, hang on, what's this? From Bad Kitty, but that's BuzzFeed. I'm not even going to go there. But what apparently they've done is they found factories inside China's mass internment camps. Satellite images show factories built just steps away from cell blocks because they use them as slave labour. From Avi Yamini, apparently this is not satire. ABC News asks, was 2020 the year Australians learnt to trust politicians? What a laugh. I think it's the year they learnt not to trust politicians. What about you guys? What do you think? From Sully Truman at Sully Truman, we are the only obstacle between Big Pharma and stopping the multitude of adverse side effects. 97% of all scientists agree with people funding them. Who funds scientists? This one goes along with the same thing from Monty Morrow, 77, at Down Under ABC. Pharmaceutical industry owns and controls the medical profession. Fact-checking is often provided by paid writers from the pharmaceutical companies and not from verified independent sources. This one from Tim Cardella at Speed369. Wake up, people. Who withholds the truth? Who alters truth to make it always negative? Who fabricates and spreads fear porn lies to keep people afraid and subservient? The corporate media is the right hand and mouthpiece of the deep state. They are the greatest threat to freedom. They are. If you are still watching mainstream news and believing them, you're about to get a hard lesson. Sorry, guys. From John Reese Wego.social at /John Reese John at Trumpawaven. Breaking Westminster incident. Updates the smoke seen rising from Houses of Parliament. Smoke is rising from the Houses of Parliament. It is being attended to by a number of firefighters from the London Fire Brigade. This is crazy, and this was 2 hours ago, apparently. Yes, there's a fire in Westminster at Parliament. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Hell is rising and the cabal is falling in. Oh, wow. Well, I don't know for sure, but there's a report out there that that's going on. We'll find out. Okay, this one from Murray Q at Murray Q. It says 16. Coincidence? Pittsburgh, CBS Pittsburgh. President Trump signs $2.3 trillion funding and relief package, extends unemployment assistance, eviction moratorium. The package signed by President Trump includes $600 in direct payments to Americans. It's gone up to $2,000. Okay. Funny how $2.3 trillion, same amount missing, day before 9/11. Funny that. Recall Donald Rumsfeld chose the date of September the 10th, 2001 to announce that a Pentagon audit ordered by Undersecretary Dov Zakim and conducted by Halliburton subsidiary had discovered that the Defense Department can no longer account for $2.3 trillion in past transactions. Note, you are not hallucinating. $2.3 trillion, or the equivalent of 6 annual Pentagon budgets. This matter was presented by CBS as a question of waste and incompetence, as though it were possible to lose $2.3 trillion. Interesting that $2.3 trillion happens to be the same amount Rumsfeld found missing from the Pentagon right before the narrative shift with 9/11. Funny that. You'll see things start to come together, guys, pretty soon. if you're not already seeing it. I know a lot of people are seeing it, which is great. There's still a lot of people who aren't. Okay, from CatTurd at CatTurd2. I see Twitter as letting New York Post trend because they wrote a negative story about DJT. The exact same news outlet they banned and suspended for writing a negative story about the Bidens. They did. They banned New York Post when the Biden news came out, but they let it trend when it's about... See, there's no bias there at all, is there? With Twitter and all of the social media companies. Laura Perrins at L. Perrins, lockdown has become the status quo. Liberty is now the radical idea. It's difficult to describe how much trouble we are in. If you keep playing along, yes, definitely. From 3 days, 3 nights, seems like it, in response to Thomas Sowell at Thomas Sowell. Have we reached the ultimate stage of absurdity, where some people are held responsible for things that happened before they were born, while other people are not held responsible for what they themselves are doing today? See? The world's in quite a bit of a mess at the moment. And a lot of it has to... Yeah, a lot of it has to... Oh my goodness. A lot of it's mainstream media for years and years and years of brainwashing. You wouldn't believe how far it goes. It's huge, guys. It's absolutely huge how far this goes. That's why I like to sit back and watch things happen and then report on them, because, and I don't always do it. I'm guilty of jumping in to try and get the story out there, but then I've been wrong. So I do like to wait 48 hours to see what other things develop in that time, because you normally, I don't know if anyone used to watch the first 48. It was a police show, and it was pretty gruesome, actually. It was like the first 48 hours after a murder to try and solve it, because the 48 hours is like a time limit for solving, not a time limit, but that's where you get all the information. In the first 48 hours, you get the best information. And if you look at everything like, okay, if you look at trying to find the truth like trying to be a detective in a way, then you let it all come out before you respond. That's why I like to take emotion out of things. I don't like to emotionally respond to things straight off the bat. I'll sit back, I'll see how it goes, and then I'll respond later on. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. I'll keep going. I'll keep reporting every day and see what happens, but looks like in the US you will be getting 2,000 per person. That's what it looks like, and that he will be stopping all the other rubbish going in and maybe fixing 230 as well. So we'll see how we go, and I'll keep you updated, guys, as much as I can anyway. I hope you have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, guys. Bye.